Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the boater, and Mike the mariner rounding out the crew, at least for the first 30 minutes or so, because he's at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show just a few days before Halloween. We're going to celebrate both events here on the World of Boating today. So let's talk about the boat show. We got great weather. Mike's been down there. I know today, your first day, as you sat under one of the tents there at the Bahia Mar complex.
It is, yes. We're at the HMY tent now. We're at Bahia Mar. Lots of people, lots of food, lots of boats, obviously.
Right.
It's really been, it's really a great show. I'll tell you, the turnout is fantastic.
I bet. I have had some people that have already been down there, earlier in the week. And they said the weather has been nice, nice cool breeze, not necessarily great boating weather, but perfect for a boat show. And the crowds are coming out and having fun and that kind of stuff. That's always a good sign. So have you seen the queen of the show? And by that, I mean the biggest boat on site of the Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about Colleen. She's with me right here.
Well,
she's the princess.
Better her than some guy in drag. But it could be
there you
one.
go.
Yeah, but the queen of the show. Do you know what the biggest yacht on display there is yet, or have you been around enough?
So that's at a different marina. That's over at the super yacht basin. We are at Bahia Mar. There are some large vessels here. There's an 80-foot Viking right in front of me.
Okay.
But all the super yachts are about 2 or 3 miles away, directly across from the convention center.
Okay.
So we have not been there yet.
Are you planning to hit that at some point? And
we're going to hit that on the way back.
And you're going to walk up to them. They're going to promptly turn you away. Say, I don't think so. We've checked your credit. We've
no. They're going to hand me the keys. They're going to hand me the keys.
Yeah.
So just take it for a spin.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you aren't with Barry or Captain Patrick, so maybe you have a shot. Maybe they'll let you on.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something, Patrick. I texted him about what's going on, and he's very tired, so I would leave him alone. Did you buy a Flips hat for everyone?
No, I didn't, but I can.
Oh.
So if I get you one of these, you won't wear the red thing anymore?
Oh, please.
Oh, no. I have to wear the red thing. But I won't wear this to the boat show.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
right,
that just makes me a target for insults.
All right.
Yeah, I bought a blue one for myself, and I bought a white one for Colleen.
All right. Well, there the team is on display representing the world of boating, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, you should have had a World of Boating hat.
Well, actually.
Well, I haven't been here long enough to get one.
He hasn't earned his
Greg
hat
hasn't
yet.
Sent me.
Yeah.
He hasn't sent me one.
Do you have one, Barry? Do you have
Yeah.
one? Oh, okay. Well,
I had to beg you for it, polish the wheels on your little ratty truck and all that.
I'll give him yours because
No, I don't
you
think
don't need one.
No, I sweat a lot in that hat. You don't want it.
Oh boy! All right, we'll hook you up there at some point. Maybe trade you a Flibs hat for a World of Boating hat there, Mike. But
okay,
what have you seen so far at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show that it's caught your eye? You think?
Okay, so we like water toys, and one of the coolest things we saw was a thing called the Manta. It's basically a water bicycle. You pedal it, but it's a hydrofoil.
Yeah.
And it develops just with your own human power, enough power to pull out of the water, and based on the literature, get 6 or 7 knots out of it.
Haul ass. On top of the water. I think I've seen the videos of that thing. So are they in the water doing demos, or you've just seen it like at a booth at the convention center?
It's at the convention center. They do have a big pool set up, and they're doing demonstrations for electric-powered surfboards and personal watercraft.
Okay.
They're doing that actually right now, which is pretty cool. Some of those surfboards are pretty amazing. Really fast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen those things have been around, those jet boards or whatever you want to call them. There's several different companies making them. But I remember seeing those things like 10 years ago, and they were hauling ass
Mhm.
then. They were basically a
Yes.
surfboard, a powered surfboard, and they, I mean, I saw them. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kill myself if I get on one of them things. But God
Yeah.
bless the people that do it. But I don't know. I like the idea of what you're talking about. You're thinking that might be a good environmental alternative. Manpower, you go fast enough, it'll go up on plane or up on the hydrofoil and really haul ass. I bet, right? If that's the same bike I
and
was
it's,
talking about.
Yeah, they're great toys. The other thing that is pretty amazing is where propulsion is going in the outboard world. These 600 horsepower V12 outboards are gargantuan. They're just amazing. There's a 36-foot Sportfish boat with two 600 horsepower outboards on it. So
Wow.
1,200 horsepower on a 36-foot boat.
Size matters. Ask your better half.
Size matters.
But
Yeah.
you probably don't want to go there with the queen. But
No, probably not.
yeah, okay. So you have a lot of metal on display as always. I have seen some press releases and some news on the Candela electric hydrofoil as well, kind of tying in, I guess, on that bicycle type thing you were talking about. Have you seen that yet? It evidently same thing. It's electric, but it goes up on a hydrofoil and really hauls ass and can kind of get up like 50, 70 miles per hour, some crazy speed.
Right.
Have you seen that one on
Yeah.
display yet or no?
We have not seen that yet, but we will look for it.
Yeah. I'm wondering. I mean, it is a little breezy down there. Are the seas a little rough like I was expecting?
Yes. Yes. We got down to Fort Pierce last night, and there was probably a 30, maybe a 35 knot wind,
Yeah.
very steady on the beach. The water was all the way to the mangroves, which if you know Fort Pierce,
Right.
that means a lot of wind pushing that water up on the beach.
I'm guessing that's why Captain Patrick is not with us today and is grumpy, even more than normal.
No, he's not grumpy. He's just tired.
Well,
They have been
same thing.
working him like you wouldn't believe.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're working them or maybe the conditions are
No.
making it tough for them to move in all the boats, isn't it?
No, the
Barry?
boats were already in. But
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but it's
I
been
wanted to
blowing
try-
all week. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. When for load in, it might have made things a little bit more difficult for people like Patrick and all
for
the yachts
maybe
they had to
if
get in
they had
place.
some of the large ones in water, but many of the boats I'd seen, at least in Miami, were out of water in the convention center.
Hmm.
So I don't know what they have set up down there.
All right. Well, either it was the wind or the traffic. Both suck when it comes
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
to
It's-
getting ready for the boat show. Yeah.
It's funny because Mike had texted me, says, how long does it take to get from the convention center over to Bahia Mar? And I go, well, the traffic down there is going to be rather massive.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
yeah. They have buses. They have water taxis.
Yes.
You took the water taxi, and it just took about an hour to get from the convention center to Bahia Mar, or was it that long?
No. Total time. The longest thing was waiting in line.
Yes.
Right.
It's kind of like being at Disney, but once you're on the boat, it's about a 10 or 12 minute ride.
Okay.
Right.
over
And if
to,
you want to go
Bahia
down
Mar.
to the other part, it's another 15, 20 minutes going through the canals there.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Right.
I can't believe Barry the boater, who lives down there right by the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show,
Wait a
is
minute.
not your chaperone and
I would have
chauffeur for the
I would
boat
have been
show.
there. I would have been there today, but you said you needed me here to help you
Well, no,
guide the ship today.
we were talking about you going down there on Thursday. I thought you were going to go.
No, I
do
was going to
opening
go
day.
down there. I was
But
going to
you
go
didn't
on
go,
Thursday.
Barry.
I didn't go. I could still go tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well,
If I get
you
up
have a-
early
you
and
have
I
a
can
chance
hop right on down there
to
it'll be
redeem
nice.
yourself.
Yep.
All right. And so are you scamming on some good Halloween candy? Do they got it out at every booth? They usually do
I
that
haven't
at the
seen
boat
any.
show. Really?
I haven't seen any Halloween
What?
candy here, or any Halloween themed decorations.
Yeah. You know,
except for
It,
for me.
it usually actually happens during Halloween. It may be being that it's Tuesday after the boat show's over. There's not as much candy at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, which maybe
Boo.
explains why Barry didn't go. I don't know. He has a sweet tooth, but don't we all? All right, more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Ahoy, sailors and sea-loving scalawags! Do you feel lost at sea when your boat needs an upgrade? And does installing electronics make you want to walk the plank? Well, shiver me timbers and fear not, because MPI, Marine Professionals Incorporated, has come to the rescue. MPI is ready to steer your boat into the digital age. That's right, mates. The installation gurus at MPI can install the latest navigation gizmos. MPI installs all the major manufacturers of state-of-the-art entertainment systems. We've got speakers that'll make Davy Jones dance, and screens so sharp you'll think you're watching Pirates of the Caribbean in 3D. So, if you're ready to sail the digital seas in style and party like a true buccaneer, call me mates at MPI 954-763-4161 or request your free consultation now at marineprofessionals.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
They'd do anything for Halloween.
What's the time? Spooky time. What's the time? Spooky time. What's the time? Spooky time. It's Halloween.
Oh, shut up, jerk.
It's spooky time.
I have a feeling that you're way off on this.
It's Halloween.
I don't like that story.
It's spooky time. Spooky time. Spooky time.
This is the world of boating. Wow, just a few days away from Halloween. It is kind of spooky, especially if you're locked with the throngs of people there at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. And you're right, your body's pressed up against Barry the Boater. But fear not, he's not there. Mike the Mariner is, so you're safe.
Yeah.
It's not as spooky. Right, Barry?
I could always head down there.
Okay, all right. He's making the threat. So but take advantage of the fact that he's not there and on the world of boating right now. But we are getting the first-hand report of the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show with Mike the Mariner and his better half. So what are you looking at right now? I see you showing us a Hatteras, it looks like.
So this is very special. This is the very first Hatteras built.
Oh, really?
Number one.
Oh, wow.
It's called Nitwits. Yes, it's been very well preserved and probably restored. It's absolutely in amazing condition. It's just stunningly beautiful.
Has a nice teal aqua color, striping or color scheme with the white.
Yeah,
it looks really nice. Yeah, you see a lot of that kind of classic stuff. I don't know if they have it there this year, but they had the Gilligan's Island boat at one of the boat shows last year. That might be at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, too. Who knows?
I thought they had it at Mike's Marina or something.
Well, no, it was up there like Annapolis or one of the boat shows up north. I know they had it a few months ago.
Yeah.
But it probably travels around a little bit. But yeah, having the first Hatteras ever made. What year was it built? Does it say there on the signage there,
well,
Mike?
there's a gentleman here. Excuse me, sir. What year was this boat built?
Looks really nice.
1960.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoa, I was
1960.
built in 1960.
Okay. You were built, not
The same.
born. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was assembled.
Right.
Yeah.
Hasn't had any upgrades. Very-
Well, this one has.
Perfection doesn't need
Barry-
upgrades.
Yeah.
Barry doesn't
Oh.
have any upgrades, but this one's been upgraded. This
Yeah.
is a modern pipe welder's tower
Yeah.
with modern navigation, autopilot.
Right.
So
Yeah. It kind of has like a
Definitely.
tuna tower type of thing. Yeah. It's not
It
that
does.
big either. It doesn't look like one of the massive Hatterases. What do you have? 40 something maybe? What do you think? Mike?
I think it's probably 38 to 40 feet.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't say.
Doesn't
It's
say
a
right on-
41.
41.
It's a
See,
41.
nailed it.
Yep.
Okay. How about that?
Yep.
I can just tell from his
41 feet.
closed caption video. But yeah, check it out. That's at the International Boat Show. Are you looking at any boats? Are you thinking like any boater, you go to a boat show like this and you love what you have right now. You haven't had it, more than a year or two, or maybe a couple years now, I guess. But you're always
we're-
thinking, I could trade that in and get something new or something I see at the boat show. Is that what you're thinking or
Yeah.
what, Mike?
No, I think we're going to keep Silhouette for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
but he's getting a
But,
tour of it now. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at all the
Well,
wood.
A lot of
Yeah, look
wood
at that.
in the boat, just to
Mhm.
clarify.
Yes.
But the thing is, maybe it'll give you inspiration for maybe some upgrades and things like that. Is that
Oh,
kind of what you guys are
absolutely.
looking at? You think?
Oh, look
Well,
at
we
this
are
thing.
looking at doing some flooring,
Yeah.
and this teak and holly sole is really
Isn't
stunning.
that gorgeous?
Right.
Really great.
But I
woodwork
noticed
on this
there's
boat.
no captain station back up where you were. I guess you have to be outside.
Well, it
I
has
mean-
a tuna tower kind of thing
Uh,
going
the,
on.
Yeah, they had the tuna tower, but I didn't see anything when he was coming down the deck.
Yeah. Well,
No, it has
be-
a fly bridge. No, it's a typical sport fish setup. So it has a helm station on the fly bridge, and then it has one on the tower.
on the very
Right,
top.
but
right.
nothing on the inside
Most
there.
sport fish boats don't have a lower helm station in
Yeah.
the cabin.
Hey,
What do you
Barry?
do with the rain, though?
Well, you go inside and you.
Well, he
anchor.
is inside. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be perfect for you, Barry. I mean, I would approve
Oh,
that
I'm-
if you
I'm
wanted
sh-
to
yeah.
trade in
Okay.
surprise your 17-foot Triumph.
Sure. That'll pay for the fuel costs
Yeah,
for
well,
one
but
day.
look at all the room in that. You could stay.
That's true.
You can
That's
stay
true.
in this
When I
thing.
get thrown out of the house, that's where I could stay.
Well, okay.
Mhm.
And that happens how many times a year?
So far.
Okay, all right.
We're not
we'll
going to
just-
mention that.
Yeah, let's just leave it lie. Are they selling this thing, or is it just on display for fun and, legendary status, being the first Hatteras? What do you think, Mike?
Is this boat for sale? No.
No.
they will not sell this boat.
No.
Okay.
That was a hard no.
All right. Well,
Absolutely not.
I everything has a price. I'd throw it at them like, hey, what if I gave you like $50 right now, cash?
How about one of Greg's guitars?
Well, hey,
Yeah, I don't think they'll take $50. I
All right.
don't even think that would sway them.
yeah, probably not. He'd say, get off the
No.
boat. I'm surprised you got on the boat. He's actually on the vessel. It's
I
not-
am on the vessel.
At the Bahia Mar, they're a little bit more loose. You're not in super yacht, arena. Actually, even at the Bahia
Yeah.
Mar, though, when you get to some of those bigger boats, they're not going to let you on the vessel unless
Right.
you've had a credit check
Wait,
first.
did you have to take your
Exactly.
shoes off?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are barefoot. See,
You are barefoot. Okay.
we
Yeah.
are barefooted.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, those are much better feet.
Yeah. See, that's
But
one of the
this
reasons.
is really, really cool.
Yeah, it looks
Huh?
nice. Looks really nice.
Yeah.
The fact that Barry's not there means that a lot of people's shoes are safe. Because he was threatening last week to go to the boat show and do a trade-in on his
Well,
flip-flops and
my-
look for something nicer.
My
Well,
dead
I had
shoes have seen
some,
better days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm wearing reef flip flops today, and I did
Ooh.
find a pair of Olakais that I almost took off with because
Right.
man, those are nice.
Well, hey, I mean the reef ones aren't exactly chump change,
No,
So
and
How
they've got a
much
bottle
toast?
opener on
Right.
too.
I mean, my advice to you, just knowing some of the people that I know go to the boat show, you should wear cheap shoes.
See if you see anyone wearing a World of Boating shirt or hat,
Right.
because it may have been borrowed from.
Yeah. Well,
Greg's
that was
truck years
Miami.
ago.
That was Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
but close enough, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a collector's item.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. You got to take your shoes off before you get on any of these vessels. And it's happened more than once that people came back out and didn't find their shoes waiting for them. And they're like,
Or they're
no!
floating away.
Yeah.
Mine are
Yeah.
line of sight, so I
Okay,
still
yeah.
see them.
Yeah, there you go. Might
Yeah.
might have to stick an air tag on 'em if you want to be
Exactly.
extra careful. I'm just saying, it's happened.
Yeah.
You know
It
it's
does
bad when
happen.
you've got to put air tags on flip flops.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is indeed. But okay, so you saw some big machinery. You saw.
We did.
I mean, other than like flooring and stuff like that, anything else you're on the lookout for, or are you just here to soak in the whole experience?
Well, back at the convention center, there are a lot of displays for boating products. And one of the cool things that we ran across was a company that offers different hatch mechanisms. So instead of having a gear-driven hatch opener, they have all steel, no plastic pistons that you can install. And they're silent, they're easy to use, they're safe.
Okay.
So
Well,
there's
that
a
sounds
lot of
like a
good
good
products here.
combo. Yeah, a lot of great
Yeah.
combo, products there at Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. Mike the Mariner, great reporting. Thank you for the update. Captain Rusty on deck next on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating Radio Show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
We want the man who did this.
Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little boy like you.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. That is me, along with Barry the Boater. Mike has went on to peruse the aisles of the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show with his honey. So we have had him tap out with Captain Rusty, who's with us right now.
Yeah.
Rusty, where are you exactly there at the boat show?
I'm in the Chris Craft booth.
Ooh, nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I know. I'm on a 31 Calypso, one of their new models that you can take home with you for $761,000.
All right, Barry, pull out your credit card. Let's
Wow,
go. Good
you
Lord.
are just
Let's
spending
go.
me to death today.
Yeah. Well, you got money. Come on
Well,
now.
Yeah, I got Monopoly.
You don't
money.
even hardly have to move the boat. You're already down there. So, there's no shipping involved. Just kind of move it over to your slip. You're good to go, right?
My
Right,
slip?
You'd hook
Me and a
them up.
Captain Waltz. I'll just rent a place behind his house.
Okay, well, maybe. All right. Now, so you got your dealer down there, and so you're helping him out with Chris Craft. And how many Chris Crafts are on display at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show today? You figure?
So we have about eight or nine here.
Okay.
And then I'm also working the Cobalt booth. I actually sold a Cobalt this morning.
All right.
So I just got back over to the booth. Actually, funny thing, I was just standing here waiting to go on the air, and somebody goes, "Are you Rusty?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes,
You
"I'm
owe
Mike
me
the
money.
Mariner."
Oh, that was.
It was Mike, so he's going to come back in a second and say hi.
Ah.
So I've never met him in person.
Oh, well,
that'd be fun.
so you ran into Mike the Mariner right there. Is that what happened?
I
Really?
did.
How about
I
that?
did, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, sell him hard. He'll buy something.
Yeah, he needs a new boat.
Yeah, or at least a Chris Craft dinghy or his vessel. Maybe you could do that with them. Yeah, but what is your feeling overall, business wise? I mean, you're there helping them sell boats. You already sold one. That's a good sign. I've heard some pretty strong numbers as far as people showing up at the show this week. Is that what you've been seeing, or what, Rusty?
Yeah. No, I have seen. It's interesting. I was in the convention center earlier, and usually it's a little less, not as crowded as it is over on the docks.
Yeah.
Today it seems like the convention center is more crowded than the docks. When I just came over, the docks is not overly crazy.
Yeah.
So, but the boats on the docks are a lot more expensive than what you're going to find in the convention center. So I still think money's definitely an issue, right? So the price of boats have gone up. Like at Chris Craft, I mean, honestly, unless you just have extra money,
right,
you're not going to buy the boat, right? It's just where 3 or 4 years ago you could. But like I said, 31 foot, $700,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a boat show price.
Okay. So we'll have to wait and see what the sales numbers are from the boat show. But as far as the number of people, just the crowd seems pretty strong from what I've been told. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the crowd has been very strong. I've seen lots of movement, lots lined up the first day. I mean, they were lined up down the road to get in.
Yeah.
So it's hotels are sold out.
Right.
Bars, restaurants. It's hard to get in anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and this is the Halloween weekend. So, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. So I might need you to come get me later.
Yeah.
If things don't go well, yeah.
Uh-oh. Why?
It's going to be Halloween night, and it's going to be fun.
Okay. Well, do you have candy laid out there at the Chris Craft booth? I mean, come on now.
No,
candy corn, at least.
No, we don't have anything laid out.
No. I was gonna come over there tomorrow, possibly if someone had candy. I thought you would have it.
What kind of candy would it have to be, Barry? What is your preference?
Doesn't matter at this point.
Candy apples, Reese peanut butter cups.
Oh, those are delicious.
Oh,
Candy corn.
those are good.
Yeah, those are good too. I like the fake corn.
Yeah.
I think they would all melt.
Well, that's true.
No, it wouldn't live long enough to melt with me.
He'd clean you out. He'd be one of those trick-or-treaters.
That's right.
You set it out
if
there.
You need someone to bail you out, Rusty, I am down here. I know where the Broward County jail
He wants
is.
to get in less trouble, not more, Barry. Okay. Well, but you've been there since the opening of the show. So it's been kind of breezy this week. Did that create any issues for the opening of the show as far as getting all the boats in, or do you know, Rusty? What did you hear?
No, all the boats were already here for a couple of weeks. They start moving in really early.
Yeah.
It's been nice actually in the water, when the show is on the docks, because there has been a nice breeze.
Right.
It's been a lot hotter in years past. That hadn't caused any problem.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I think
That's
it
good.
probably helped this. I think it's helping the show because you have people that they can't go boating right now unless you got a really big boat.
Well, exactly. Right. Well, I was concerned that was creating some issues for some of the vendors to get their boats into the docks this week, but maybe like
they
you said,
already had that. Yeah, they had that all in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And have you had much time to walk around just and peruse the site there in Fort Lauderdale yourself much, or no?
No, I have. I've walked around a good bit. Pretty much, it's funny. I'm sure there's new stuff. I haven't seen anything that, changed my life, but there's so many boats here.
Yeah.
So many boat brands you never heard of. If I was going to buy a boat, I would not come here. I know that sounds weird, but there's too many choices.
Really? It would confuse the crap out of a new boat buyer, you think?
It would. It would. It's like
Interesting.
going to a beauty contest to find your wife. You're just going, they all look good. So.
Huh. Okay. All right. It's like the Bachelor of boating.
It is.
And it's a little overwhelming. Should only date one boat at a time is what you're saying? Okay.
That's exactly right.
All right. Have you seen any celebs or anybody? That draws in quite an eclectic crowd. And I know some celebs pop into that event sometimes. What do you think?
I have not seen any celebrities. I will say I was on a walk this morning, and while I was on my walk, this girl came up in a vampire outfit and said she was want to suck all my blood out.
Right.
And it was-
For the record, you're in Fort Lauderdale. That probably was not a costume. That
How
was
does that always
probably
happen to Rusty,
the real
not
deal.
to us?
It was awkward. It was a very awkward encounter.
Well, hey, 'tis the season, and you know. So what? You just slit your finger and give her a little taste and send her on her way, or you care not to
No,
say?
I just go, thank you. That would be nice.
Okay, all right, interesting.
My only other mishap that I will share since it's public radio is
Yeah.
yesterday I got a call that I needed to go to the convention center. So I carry these little scooter with me, right?
Yeah.
I hop on the scooter. I take off as fast as I can go to get over to the convention center. I thought it was a little on-ramp for the sidewalk, and it was a curb.
Ah.
Oh, no.
And I nailed that curb, went over the handlebars, landed on the sidewalk.
Ooh.
I'm okay. I do have a
Good.
brace on my hand now. I have been to urgent care.
But
that's
now
what's
people
wrong.
are looking at you like, wow, you dressed up as Frankenstein for the boat show. I get it.
Exactly.
Oh,
We could go on YouTube and probably see that video now.
yeah. All
You
right.
probably will.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. But yeah,
Thank you.
those are like death carts. You know, you got to dodge people, curbs, God knows what else. I mean, I know they get you there quicker, but man, when you have a big crowd like that, there's a lot of hazards. So I'd say slow down, take the walk, and just take in the scenery. Right? That's what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
One up, everyone.
Yeah. I mean, you're a walker anyway. You like walking.
I am a
So
walker.
you get.
Yeah, I know.
How many steps you got on your watch right now? Probably thousands, I bet. Knowing how big the
I have
event
not
is.
looked lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I know.
right.
It's
All right.
a lot.
Well, there you go. See, you get in your steps, and you can eat some extra Halloween candy here in a couple days.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rusty, thanks for the update. Appreciate it. Enjoy yourself at the boat show, and we'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
There you go. Captain Rusty at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. We got more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen. That grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch, and if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
And this is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. That's me, along with Barry, the boater, rounding out the crew right now as we navigate the latest boating news and information. A lot of stuff happening, obviously, this weekend in Fort Lauderdale for the big boat show. But there's other things happening as well. And Barry and myself are going to attempt to cover them accordingly. You can follow up on these stories or go a little deeper with them at the World of Boating Facebook page, by the way. And this is one right off of the headlines. Now, I don't even know what to think of this, Barry, but the story is there's a family that is suing a boater, like it's a boat charter company, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And basically their kid, and it's a tragic story. He jumped off the boat, probably to go swim with his buddies, and he drowned. Okay, terrible, tragic situation. But now the family's suing the boat company for not warning him to go in the water, not warning him that it would be treacherous or he could potentially drown by jumping in the water.
Well, there's a lot of things that they don't talk about in this story that I guess will come out when the court case finally does. But
yeah,
this young man that died was 20 years old. I guess he didn't know how to swim. I'm not sure.
Right.
They said his friends did throw him life preservers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
But there was a rip current going.
They
and
said
got
there was
him.
a current. I don't know where they were anchored, whether they were anchored out in the middle of the bay or they were anchored in a canal.
Well,
And-
regardless, first off,
Well-
if you don't know how to swim, you probably shouldn't be jumping
Shouldn't
in
be
the
in the
ocean,
water. Yeah.
right? And secondly, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know how you blame the charter company for warning someone don't jump off the boat and go swimming
Well,
because you might drown.
Here's something you have to understand. First of all, Greg and I are both scuba divers, and we go on charter boats all the time.
Right.
And anytime we're on that boat, just before the boat even leaves dock, the captain will go over where their fire extinguishers are, what happens if the boat is going to become a wreck, and where should we jump off, where the life preservers are, all the safety items, what to do and what not to do. And if it's rough seas, they'll tell you, please sit down while he takes us through the rough inlets and stuff like that.
Right. But
We
just on the
weren't there.
surface
Yeah.
Of the story, like I said, there could be some other, elements to this story that make it make more sense. But when you read it on the surface, it's like, how could the charter company that, offers their boat up for rent be responsible for someone who jumps off of it and drowns?
Well,
I mean, that's what they did. They're not even on the boat anymore.
Well, only the one person jumped off, and that was the one. Now they're saying that they didn't have properly trained captains or masters or contractors or crew on them. They allowed unqualified, untrained employees on this yacht for this cruise. They say that there wasn't enough available safety equipment, although they also say that their friends were throwing them life preservers.
Right, so they at least had
We
those.
weren't there.
at some-
We need to know more facts
right,
about it. before
but
you
but
can
just
make
backing up,
Yeah.
on the surface,
on the face of it,
it sounds absurd, doesn't it? I mean, let's just change the story. Let's take that aside and say that we went. I went out boating with you on your boat, right?
Right.
And this could happen to anybody. And you're on the boat, and you're having a good time, and you anchored off some sandbar or something, and one of the people on the boat decides, hey, I'm going to jump off and cool off in the water. Okay, they jump off, and for whatever reason, current gets them, and they sweeps them away, and they drowned. A tragedy, right? But how would that be the boat? How could that? How could that possibly be the captain's fault?
well, that's the whole thing. It's not necessarily the captain's fault, but there's always more to the story. If it was you and I going out there and you fell off,
Well, I
then
didn't
just-
say fall off. I jumped off on my own
jumped off.
accord to
Even
go
if you
swimming.
jumped off. Right.
Yeah.
Then I would just wave and say goodbye.
Right. You go, finally.
Yeah, finally.
Success.
Or, just pull anchor and come fetch you. And I
Right.
found someone one time when we were, I was out there and I think you were diving. You were in the water and we were at the rocks, those, off the beach there. And there was a woman had come up. And she was, maybe you weren't there, but she was out there
floated away
screaming
from her.
for help.
Yeah.
She floated away from her dive partner and didn't
Right.
know what to do and was freaking out.
Well, that happens
and I
all
just
the time.
came up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I came up there. I kept my
Help her out.
engine into neutral.
Right.
I told her to calm down, inflate her BC. I got her a line, brought her into the boat. She was shaking, had her calm down.
Yep.
And then her mate eventually came up to the surface, like, "Oh, that's where you are."
Right.
So I'm sure they had a little bit of a row later on.
Right. But once again, where does the liability start and stop when you're
It depends.
running your own boat?
I mean, if they have witnesses that said, yeah, the captain gave everyone a briefing. And he said, this is where the safety equipment is. This is where the fire extinguishers are. You should not leave the boat without contacting the captain first and saying, hey, I'm going to go jump into the water. If they gave a briefing, then they're going to have a very hard time convincing anyone that they are
let's
at
say
fault.
they did not give that briefing. Let's say
common sense would tell me if you don't know how to swim, you
don't
should not
jump
be
in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
even
like-
if it's a ripping current.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
You float with the current.
Right.
That's all.
I mean, I just, I don't know. It just seems like this is crazy. A crazy scenario, but unfortunately, in the legal world we find ourselves in, they're always looking for some little caveat. But I'm like, how could the captain or owner of the boat be, liable for someone who decides to go swimming and drowns? They're not even on your boat anymore. I mean, I can understand if they broke their arm or slipped on the deck or something
Look,
like
I tore
that.
the ACL in my knee on
Right.
a dive boat. I didn't go back and sue them. It wasn't their fault.
Uh-huh. I choked on some bad salami that you served me up for lunch. And
Yeah, that
then
wasn't a salami.
okay. But then you might have a case. But once you jump off the boat, isn't that where the liability should end? Or
Possibly.
let me look at the other side of this.
All right.
If you are taking someone around and they get loopy or drunk or whatever and do something, of course, then I would think the captain or the owner of the vessel who didn't corral these people from doing stupid stuff could be held liable in that sense. But
it could be if they didn't have enough people there working to control the environment. I forget how many people they had, 10 or 12 people on this charter.
Regardless, though, but if someone jumps off on their own accord and they're not under the influence of anything that was offered to them on the boat.
Yeah, or nothing was said to the captain and the mate that was sitting there, maybe the guy just jumped, hey, I'm going to go jump off and, take a number one. And
whoa, hey. Okay.
Well, that's what the ocean's for.
Okay. Oh, Barry the boater.
Something happened. They may not have been notified. Hey, this guy, he jumped off the boat. We have to get to him. And if it's anchored up, it's not a 2-second thing where you can pull an anchor on these big yachts. It takes a little bit more time.
Well, just for the record, though, if I was on your boat and I jump off to do a number one or number two.
Number two, forget it. You're not coming back on.
Oh, okay.
I'll drag you back the way I've dragged you before behind the boat.
Well, okay. Well, let's say I went underwater and I had an issue and I didn't come back. Would you feel responsible? Or
I'd feel responsible for a moment.
You would. You would feel responsible
for a moment.
Slightly
responsible.
You just feel guilty.
Then the missus might say, "Thank you."
Okay. All right. Well, that was probably a bad example.
That was a bad example.
We got to take ourselves out of the equation there, Barry. But
what
I
other
think,
stories that we have?
I don't think we have time for any others. But the moral of this one is just be prepared that if you have crazy people on your boat that do nutty things, you could still be found liable whether you think you would or not.
Swim. Please, if you're in Florida, learn how to swim.
Yeah,
please.
That's
my
probably
son lives in
idea.
Texas. My grandson's already learning how to swim. He's not even a year old yet.
Yes, or you just become a giant buoy, kind of like Barry the boater. You float, don't you?
Giant.
Well, you're like he's all in red. He's like a channel marker. Anyway,
thank you.
On that disturbing note, we'll wrap it up. Till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.